Alright, had the Liquid Integrity Management Part 195, March 18th, 2013, Code Section 19542 F8, Section Style Piper Integrity Management, High Consequence Area, F. What are the elements of Integrity Management Program? Integrity Management Program to give the initial frame with the operative continually change with the reflect operating experience, conclusion, job with the result of the integrity of something out of the main surveillance with that evaluation consequence vary with the high consequence of the operative must exclude the minimal of each of the following elements Integrity Management Program. Let's see if we're still recording and I drop something. Okay. A process review the integrity management. 8 is process of the review of the integrity management assessment result of the information analysis by person qualified to evaluate the result of the information received. Paragraph H2 of this section. Origin code 157 5 Federal 75378 December 1st 2000. Last method interpretation. Advisory both and other notes. Other materials reference 1160 evidence management and system of integrity. Had a liquid pipeline latest edition. PHMSA liquid integrity management supplemental guidelines integrity assessment and result of the review. PHMSA had liquid integrity management frequency asked questions do abnormally repair schedule the requirements of 195 452 H for the apply to all of the previous internal inspection runs to the form runs performed by the operator just for the integrity assessment required in 195 452 i.e. the baseline assessment and subsequent integrity assessments. 7.2 how much of the result of the pipeline integrity assessment be evaluated. 7.3 what are the constants of the discovery of the condition. 7.7 what the general corrosion mean with the content of the 180 to repair day criteria 195 452 H43E with the 7.18 how about the burst pressure that defines the immediate repair condition 452 H41B and operating pressure that defines 180 day repair condition 452 H34D the differ should the tool counters consider what is determined and detect the abnormal meets of the repair condition. Criteria 721. What must abnormalities identify during the pig run that does not consider the baseline with the reassessment under the rule of the repaired and conform with the rule of repair criteria. 816 what is integrity management program. 86 what is integrity management program. 816 of the rule require the review and integrity assessment result of the information analysis risk analysis to be formed by the person qualified to evaluate the result of the information. However, they covered satisfied with the operator qualification requirements. If not, how the operator expected to demonstrate that they had satisfied with the requirement. Guns information 195 4 FAA with the require the operator to profit the review of the integrity assessment result of the information and of the person qualified to evaluate the result information 195 450 H2 reference the providing more specific review of the integrity assessment result. In general, the operator does not have the process of the review of the integrity assessment result of the Smart Pig runs 195 452 F8 should be decided if the operator properly reviewed the integrity assessment result they have a deficiency adequacy 195 452 H2 should be decided. The example of the deficiency filed with the 195 452 H2 might be failing to integrate with the information in the integrity of the line reviewing and line inspection result of the non-consider the challenge of the identify the anomalies and remedial action. PHMSA did not establish the requirement of individuals who review the integrity assessment information risk analysis risk. The risk of that is not covered the task of defining operator qualification requirements. Evidence the frequency asked question 816 of the PHMSA staff of the operator to discover the relevant experience and training with the other qualification personnel performing the work as part of the integrated management program. Operators should also discover the provision ensuring that the individual performing the work have the necessary technical expertise and experience. For although reviewing integrity assessment is all of the information analysis not cover the operative qualification requirement of the PHMS staff of the operator with a similar mean, but assure that the individuals performing the activities are qualified such as job description, task analysis, other means identified the qualification requirements, performing reviews, assessment, result of the information, health address for the education, experience, skills, and training requirements as appropriate. To B, the documentation existing personal skill, the educational training with experience within one, ensure the individual qualification proficiency. 2, the identify the qualification need for those individuals do not meet the qualification requirements. C, the plan and schedule to provide the additional training and skill, the acquisition, achieve the maintain the qualification requirements as applicable. We'll see selected final orders reference 195 452 A8FA. Not reading those companies. Example, the probable violation, adequate and procedures. Fair to develop the process of review and integrity. The assessment result of the information risk analysis result. Fair to adequately specifically qualification requirement of the operator with the vendor personnel with the review of the evaluate inline inspection result of the read. The fail to conduct the review of the integrity assessment result of the information risk of the analysis of the person qualified to do so. Depending on the circumstances, some of the existence listed in the section may be the inadequate procedure of the non-probable violations of the enforcement to the address of these issue the notice amendment, the non-probable violation warning letter, section 3 enforcement procedure. Provide guidance and select the appropriate enforcement action. Example, the evidence integrity management program plan or program applicable portion show the absence of the process of review integrity assessment of the information analysis result qualified person. Integrity management framework 3, documentation compensation operated with the contract personnel verified with the process of reviewing integrity assessment information analysis result was developed for personal training, other qualifications, documentation, other special limitations not noted. Enforcement guidelines headed liquid integrity management program. Part 195, March 18th, 2013, 195 452G of the Pipeline Integrity Management High Consequent Area Section Title Existing Code Language, whatever the information now for the periodic evaluating integrity of each of the pipeline with the paragraph J with the section of the operator must analyze the information available to integrity entire pipeline with the consequent of the information included the information criteria critical to determine the potential for the preventing damage of the excavation, including the current and planned damage for the prevention activity developing plan to develop along the pipeline segment through data gathered by the integrity assessment required by the end of Section 3, the data gathered in conjunction with the inspection, testing, surveillance, patrols required by the part, including the corrosion control part of the cathodic protection surveys. 4. Information about how the failure would affect the high consequent area such a location, water intake, origin code 1957065, Federal Register 75378, December 1st, 2000. Last minute interpretation and summaries of the advisory bulletin. Summaries. Verification record. The PHMSA issuing the advisory bulletin remind operators of the gas half liquid pipeline to verify the records relating to the operating specification, maximum allowable operating pressure required by the Title 49, 192, 517, and maximum operating pressure of the required by the Title 49, CFR 195, 310. The advisory bulletins inform the gas operators of the annual reporting form of the documentation of the maximum allowable operating pressure that will be required to report the total mileage with the adequate records of the while they must report with the PHMSA give the adequate required. In addition, with the advisory bulletin information of the head liquid adequate reports records conform with the maximum operating pressure. Date from 1st of November. September 1st, 2011. Adequate, and then advisory bulletin potential damage of the pipeline facility with the cover of the pasture for the hurricane. PHMSA issuing the advisory bulletin remind owners and operators of the gap that had liquid pipelines potential damage pipeline caused by the passage hurricanes. Advisory bulletin potential damage of the pipeline facility caused by flooding. PHMSA issuing the advisory bulletin on top of the gap that had liquid pipelines communicate with the potential damage of the pipeline facility with the cover of severe flooding. Advisory include the action of the operator that you can taken to ensure the integrate with the pipeline with the kite in case of flood. Advisory bulletin extinguishing maximum allowable operating pressure with the using recording evidence, integrity management, risk identification, assessment, prevention, mitigation. PHMSA is issuing the advisory bulletin to remind operative of the gap that has the liquid pipeline facility the responsible federal integrated management, integrated management regulations, perform the detail of the risk analysis, integrate adequate data information for the entire pipeline system, as well as with the calculating maximum level operating pressure, maximum operating pressure for the utilize for the risk analysis application, appropriate assessment method in preventing mitigated measures. Advisory bulletin earth weld of the quality issue, the damage due to the improper transition, misalignment with the welded practice large diameter line pipe. PHMSA issued the advisory bulletin to notify the owners operating with a resistantly controlled large diameter natural gas line pipeline with a header liquid pipeline system with the potential with the girth of weld with the failure due to the welding quality issue. The misalignment during the welding large diameter of the pipeline caused the severe leak for the rupture pressure within well below 72% of the specifically maximum specified minimum yield, ensuring that the PHMSA reviewed the several region of the project with the constructed in 2008, 2009, 20-inch greater diameter X70 with a higher line pipe with metallurgic testing result of the fail of the girth weld of the pipeline with thickness of the transition, have found with the pipe segment of the line well, misalignment, improper bevel of the wall, thickness of the transition, and improper welding. The curve during the construction, the number of the failures were located with the pipe segment, the concentrated external load due to support back issue with the owners and operatives recently constructed with a large diameter pipeline should evaluate these lines for the potential growth of the well of failures due to the misalignment of the issue. The review of the construction operative record with the conducting engineering reviews as necessary. Advisory bulletin weldable compression of the couplings installation. Pipeline Hazardous Material Safety Administration reminds the pipeline owners and the operative the importance of installing weldable compression coupling with the according with the manufacturer procedure, following appropriate safety and startup procedure. The failure to install the welding compression coupling with the correct loop of the failure to implement the follow appropriate safety and startup procedure could result in a catastrophic pipeline failure. PHMSA only urge the operative to review the incorporated with the appropriate with the operative the written procedure of the manufacturer installation procedure taken out of the any other necessary safety measure to save the reliable operation of pipeline safety system. Our potential low variable yield and tensile strength, the chemical composition property, the high strength line pipe. The PHMSA issue in the advisory bulletin owners and operative with the natural gas pipeline and has the liquid pipeline system built in and by the pipeline system. The owners operative with the potential high grade line pipe and solve the project with the existing inconsistent chemical mechanical property yield the strength tensile strength of the members property do not meet the line pipe to specification minimum have the reported advisory bulletin pertain with the micro alloyed high strength line pipe with the rates generally X70 or above. The PHMSA really efficiently review the logical testing result of the several recent project including indicating pipe joints through for the pipe with the same height with the may exhibit the variable chemical the mechanical properties as much as 15% with the lower strength value is the best other than manufacturer. Advisory bulletin property litigation internal corrosion risk. The advisory bulletin reminds reminds operative the responsible for Title 49 195-579A, Title 49 195-589C with the respective identification circumstances of the potential internal corrosion must be investigated. Corrosion threat with the newly construct the gap of the transmission head of the liquid pipeline. The RSPA, the Office of Pipeline Safety, issued with advisory bulletin of the natural gas and hydro liquid pipeline to consider the threat of the external corrosion during an immediately after the construction of the new steel pipeline. So the operators are strongly encouraged to determine the new pipeline that are suspectedly interfering with the damage of the tray of the electrical currents. Operators should be careful to monitor, take the action to mitigate the detrimental effects. Stress corrosion, cracking, threat to gap of the head of liquid pipelines. The RSPRA's Office of Pipeline System issued the rapid notice of the owners and operators of the gas hydro liquid pipelines to consider the threat of the traffic corrosion crack developed in implementing the integrity management program. The operators should determine whether the pipeline is acceptable to the stress corrosion cracking and the excess of the impact of the stress corrosion cracking of pipeline integrity. Based on these evaluation, operators should prioritize application additional inline inspection, hydrostatic testing, taking action remedial problems area. Potential failure to check the valve of the following manufacturer. RSPA is issued with advisory bulletin to owner of the operative head liquid natural gas line pipeline with the bulletin and the industrial of the potential failure to check the valve of the following manufacturer. Pull potential soil substance of the pipeline facility. Heavy rainfall of the flooding have increased the potential damage of the pipeline facility. Several action with the crew of the natural gas transmission facility. They appear with the relay with the stress of the soil of the movement. According to the Department of Transportation Pipeline Hazardous Material Safety Administration, is advising the operative of the pipeline facilities, regardless of whether these facilities are regulated by PHMSA, of the need of the caution associated with excessive flooding and soil movement, in particular with the pipeline operatorship with the conduct training with the patrol with the right of ways, and with the identify the area with the potential soil substance that could adversely affect the safety operation of the pipeline. Additional emergency plans should be reviewed with ensure they adequate to address the condition possible the areas of the soil substances. Recent finding with the relative fact that the contributing operational failures of the pipeline construct the ERW power with the 1970, but on January 28, 1980, the Office of Pipeline Safety issued the notice advising the pipeline operator they have the pipeline manufacturer the ERW process of the current of the 12 has a liquid pipeline failure. The action with the operator may take the rate reduce the risk of the similar failure, but continue with the failure with the RW remains on the matter of the concern of the RSPA. Then the issue with the of the RSPA to have the 8 additional hydro liquid pipeline failure, the one on the gas transmission pipeline involved the pipe seam with the manufacturer of the 1970 by the ERW process. Other 8 additional have the liquid pipeline failure. The 2 appear with the due with the failure to corrosion of the ERW seam and the state with the 1988 alerts. Notice of the seam and the select with the corrosion occurring with the area within the manufacturer defect for the particular vulnerable failure. However, the other failures appear to result of the flat growth of the manufacturer defect for the ERW seam. 2 of the failures resulted in some of the most significant spills, more than 20,000 barrels in recent year with the most failure with the involved pipelines which had not been hydrostatically tested and with the current standard. One of the failures occurred with the long-standing operating pressure having increased the relatively short period of the time of the failure with increased the pressure clearly to decrease the managing of safety between the operating pressure and the height of the pressure average with the experience during life of the pipeline contributed to alteration acceleration of the growth of the defect failure. Recent findings relative to the factors contributing operational failure of the pipeline construct for the ARW survivor since 1970. The operational Office of Pipeline Safety have data of the 12 hydro liquid pipeline failure with the curve of the 1986 to the 1970 and involved with the pipeline seams manufactured prior to 1970 with the ARW. For the purpose of the note of the pipeline operative we have the service pipe system data are currently available. The operational pipeline Office of Pipeline Safety action with the operative may take to reduce the failure of the recent have the call the operational Office of Pipeline Safety to reevaluate the safety continues of the operation of the pre-1970 ERW pipeline with the reevaluation include the more to defect metallurgical examination of the fail of the ERW seam that particular significant Office of Pipeline Safety evaluation of the ERW pipeline failure with the 8-inch diameter of the pipeline Mounds View, Minnesota. The Mounds View pipeline carrying the gasoline failure with the have the 114 and 1434 psi gauge had hydrostatically pressured at 1900 psi gauge just 2 years prior. The independent failures and now the conduct of the Patel, it comes to laboratories conclude with the cover of the Mountain View failure with selective corrosion on the ARW seam, area with inadequate cathodic protection. Similar metallurgic tests have identified 2 or less recent failures of selective corrosion in ARW seam in area can characterize by coating a disembodiment and inadequate cathodic protection should be the cause of the latest failure. Alright, API 1160 other reference materials serve the API 1160 managing system and integrity management had liquid pipeline. PHMSA liquid integrity management supplement guideline risk analysis. Part 195, Appendix 1, identifying the high constant area of the factor with the pipeline, with the potential impact of high constant area of the Part 195 of the Appendix C with the 2 with the risk factor, the testing frequency of the assessment, Part 195 of the Appendix C with the 3 safety risk, indicator table of the leak history following line with the side of the H pipeline product transport, stress corrosion study, Michael J. Baker Jr., January 2005, dependent study, Michael J. Baker Jr., November 2000, pipe wrinkle study with the Michael Baker Jr. 2004. Low frequency ERW double app level of the longitudinal seam evaluation. Michael Baker Jr. April 2004. Vision pipe wrinkle with integrity determination. Michael Baker Jr. May 2003. Oil pipeline character of the risk factor. The illustration decay with the control for the catheter over the December 2001. Alright, PHMSA how liquid integrity management frequency asked questions 2-1. Does the rule apply with more than line pipe? The force of the most of the prioritization pipe segment the assessment reassessment 49 with the operator streak the way of the PHMSA pipeline safety in order to change the assessment. Skip the initial baseline assessment that has been developed. 6-2 with the different requirements of the inspection pipelines carrying with the high volatile liquids. 6-3 the different requirements of the inspection overhead suspension pipeline dredge. 8-5 what is the framework? 8-6 with the integrity management plan program. 8-11 what kind of information for the integrate with the performing periodic evaluation reassessment internal determination. 8-4 what do the operators expect for the external condition of the earthquake with the fault line with the mining substance with the integrity management program will be classified for the high consequence area that require special repair provisions. 8-15 for the integrity management program portion of the 195-452 will have all the portion line pipeline segment and could impact the high consequence area including the pump the data terminals over the company wants the operator to comply with the rule facility. 8-16 rule requirement the rule integrity review the integrity result of the information and all to be form of the person qualified with the result of the information cover the task operator qualification requirements. If not, how the operators expect the exemption for the satisfied requirements. 8-18 can the operator have the potential business consequence of the curtailment of the plan shutdown of the risk determination. 8-19 what type of the risk analysis of the PHMSA pipeline safety before requirement of the quality of the 9-9 how long after completing the baseline stuff for the operator with the risk analysis determine with additional preventive and mitigated action include the need for the EFRD for the leak detection system and enhancement if the operator determines additional action for the warranted how long do they implement then. So how do 9-10 how do the operators set the control of the risk by third parties over which they have no direct control. Guidance information 1. Other operative is required to develop the analysis and integrate with available information to the entire public with consequent favor with the analysis table that refer to the risk analysis information analysis 195-452 F3 with the table analysis of the required one integrated management program and element 195-452G. So the minimum information must be consider the information risk analysis. 2. General operative does not have the analysis integrated with all the information pipeline integrity the consequence failure of the risk analysis 195-452 F3 should be cited. 3. How the operative with the information risk analysis does not consider the information listed with the 195-452G with the other deficiency adequacy 195-452G be cited. 195-452G require the operative with the analysis available information with the by the integrity and entire probability of the operative with the consider the sum of the available information relevant to the pipeline integrity becomes with the information risk analysis 195-452G should generally be decided with the risk also with the consideration available information about the integrity of the entire pipe with the segments with the effect with the high consequent error. This include the applying with the data with the other inspection test surveillance control required within part 195 include the corrosion control monitoring catalytic protection survey for the portion of the pipeline connected with the high consequence area. 195-452G should decide with the deficiency adequate with the information risk analysis the methodology itself. For example, the operative use of the risk is module to rely upon the industrial average weighting factor that is not custom of the model of its own pipelines. If it asks with the deficiency should be decided 195-452G. 195-452J2 and the J3 or J3 with also cover the information of the periodic evaluation integrity determination reassessment interval the respectful deficiency act for the applicant for the information risk analysis the periodic evaluation assessment interval the determination 195-452J2 for the J3 which should be decided whether or not 195-452G. 195-452I also requires risk analysis determined the additional medical of the measure 195-452I which does not explicitly refer to 195-452 F3 and 195-452G of the current low how the release could affect with the high consequence of the same language with the 195-452 F3 periodic practically most operatives have one risk analysis approach where they apply with the risk related requirements required to the prevent mitigate the measure requirements of the continual evaluation risk assessment requirements. Selecting final referencing, not going to read those. Our example, the probable violation and act with G with the failure to consider the information to paragraph of 195-452G1 and through 195-452G4 for the information risk analysis. 2. Failure to include the integrity of the information in the entire pipeline and with the risk system that could affect the high consequence of the include the information surveillance, inspection, surveillance, and patrols. 3. Fail to adequately consider the relevant threats of the pipeline integrity risk analysis with the external internal controls, stress corrosion, crack of the material problem, third-party damage operative, achieve the area of the equipment, the failure of the intentional for the construction areas. 4. Failure to adequately consider the likelihood consequence of the pipeline failure of the information risk analysis, local analysis, field of input with the incorporate with the information risk analysis, particularly the information with the potential third-party damage activities, include the development of the ROW right of way, not include the information risk analysis. 7. Integrity assessment with the result of the include the information risk analysis. 8. Poor quality information risk analysis due to inadequate record keeping inadequate data collection disproportionate amount of the risk analysis described as unknown 9. Inadequate the collection of the youth operating with the experience of the leak history with the other specific experience with the relating with the specific risk factor of the relevant industry, experience with the information risk analysis, 10. Anticipate with the effect of the existing mitigate the mention with the overestimated, exaggerated, otherwise evaluated improperly. 11. Operator subject matter expert based approach with failure to establish the existing guidelines of the formality subject with the as subject matter expert in the information risk analysis. 12. The failure to adequately consider the segment of specific unique risk factor, even the standard risk model. 13. Failure to adequately consider the consequence of the high consequent area and whether they pipeline segment that could affect with the high consequent area. 14. Failure to adequately validate the risk of the weighting factor of the risk eventual analysis. 15. Failure to adequately weigh the height and the safety factors relative to the other consequent area with the information risk analysis. 16. Use the information risk analysis to reduce the inappropriate skewed result. 7. The failure to adequately consider the risk of the due to the local frequency ERW pipeline. 18. Failure to adequately and create result of the analysis of the how the pipeline fear that could affect the high consequent area with the segment identification. 19. Failure to adequately consider the risk of the associated with the alternate mode of the pipeline operation that could accept the start, shutdown, shut-in, slack line, pressure cycling, etc. 20. Information risk analysis resolve of the edge or other many segments such as the segment specific risk with the obscure, with the failure to appropriately consider the uncertain with the information risk analysis. 22. Failure to adequately interpret the risk of the pipeline facility, pump station, tanks. 23. Failure to follow the operative over the own document information risk analysis methodology. Alright, depending on the circumstances, some of the examples listed in this section may be the inadequate plans to perceive the non-probable violation of the enforcement tool, the draft of the issue with the notice of amendment, the non-probable violation or warning letter. Section 3. Enforcement perceived the provide with the guidance for the selecting appropriate enforcement action. Example of the evidence. The integrity management plan or program, the important portion show for the omission for the deficiency for the information for the information risk analysis of the information risk analysis methodology. 2. Baselines for the ongoing reassessment plan with the show for the omission for the deficiency information for the information risk analysis for the information risk analysis method. 3. Documentation continual evaluation properly show for the omission for the deficiency information for the information risk analysis of the information risk analysis of the method. 4. Document the conversation for the operative with the contractor personal identify the inconsiderate deficiency and accuracy regarding the information for the information risk analysis risk module, the information risk analysis methodology. Apply for the information risk analysis even in line with those appropriate the pipeline facility. Information risk analysis description risk module documentation include the risk information factors information consider the risk algorithm and weighting factors if appropriate. Apply for the information risk analysis even the line as well as the approach to the pipeline facility. 6. Records indicate the information risk analysis procedure were not followed. And 7. The record demonstrate the deficiency adequate the risk analysis risk model the information for the information risk analysis other special notations. Alright, enforcement guidelines section header liquid integrity management 195 revision March 18, 2013. 195 452 H1 pipeline integrity management high constant area H. What were the most of the operative to take of the draft for the integrity management general requirements?
You forgot to take my med.
Alright. Alright, your hazardous liquid integrity management. Part 1 of hazardous liquid integrity management, part 195, March 18, 2013, 195, 452, H1 pipeline integrity management, high consequence area with the H, whoever the action operative to take with the justice and integrity issues. General requirement the operative must stick with the problem, but action with the draft the analysis, for the operative, the integrity assessment of the information, and for the addressing all the condition operative must prevail with the those condition remediate with the could reduce the pipeline with the operative must be able to demonstrate the remediation of the condition and ensure the condition unlikely to pose the threat long-term integrity of the pipeline. The operative must comply with 195 422. We make the repair temporary with the pressure reduction. The operative with the minute of the PA. The corner for the paragraph at the end of the section operative cannot make with the schedule of the evaluation remediation required then paragraph of the H3 of the section cannot provide safety with a temporary reduction of the operating pressure, long-term pressure reduction with the pressure reduction with the 365 days operative with no for the must over the paragraph at the end of the section explain the reason for the delay. Operator must make further remedial action to ensure the safety of the pipeline. Origin code 1957065 at register 75378 December 1st 2000 last amendment 1957467 Fed register 1650 January 14 2000 interpretation summary for the advisory bulletin notice and summary not noted. Other materials in reference to the API level integrity management system information had a liquid pipeline HMSA liquid integrity management supplemental guidelines integrity assessment and resolve the review of the remedial action 195 Appendix C for the 7th investigation of the impairment of the pipeline integrity. HMSA had a look with integrity management. Frequently asked questions. 7.1. Does the anomaly require repair schedule the requirement of 195 452 H apply with all the previous internal inspection of the form of the operative during the integrity assessment required in 195 452 baseline 7 subsequent integrity 772 how the result of the pipeline integrity assessment evaluated 770 the other anomalies the operative required to address 714 with the segment of the high consequent area with a relatively short with only 2 miles only give the operating internal inspection of the long-term portion of the segment of the from the pig launch of the receiver of the repair 195-452H apply with segment with a high container tire distance over the pig run. The rule require the operator to temporarily reduce the pressure for the immediate repair with conditions discovered in 195-452H41 with respect to the requirements of the temporary reduction of the operating pressure be based on the previous maximum operating pressure. The temporary reduction operating pressure be based on calculation of the defined 1 and 4 for section 451.6222B of the ASME ASI B314. Section 141.451.6222B ASME B314 applicable calculation temporary pressure reduction required on the top side dent of the metal left of the 195-452H4 for the 1C and the dent greater than 6% of the pipe diameter of the 195-452H1D. It's 20% of the reduction pressure adequate in terms of the measure for the intermediate repair condition. Must identify the during pig runs the tank for the baseline reassessment of the rule of the repair and conform with the rules repair criteria. 722. Section 195-452H4 for the requirement that one temporarily reduce the pressure of the response of the immediate repair condition and some power with the most calculable the reduction formula section 1.451.6222B ASME ASI B314. Even though the formula result of calculated safety pressure of the hydrogen or may originally operating pressure, but the may still reduce the pressure to what? Must the pipe with the maximum operating pressure have reduce the glue with the need of the pressure testing in accordance with 195.302B1 the repair retested with the restore of the original high maximum operating pressure. 810 with integrity management program documentation available to PHMSA pipeline inspection. How long should it be in integrity management related documentation? PHMSA, and then it shows the safety review operating notification formally respond to the operating PHMSA pipeline communicate respond to specifically some company notification brought in 12-7. How will the operator of the PHMSA say the objects to it, and then it's I don't know, it's kind of cut off, the page was printed wrong. Guidance information operator will develop the criteria of the renewal action draft integrity of the 195-452F over the more information required of the elements for the enforcement guideline material associated with 194-452F over the and 195-452F over the officer of the 195-452H for the most particular requirement of the program element 195-452H1 provides general statement that the operator may take the proper action with the drift anomaly for the condition and define the integrity assessment information versus analysis required the operator must evaluate the anomalies and condition that remediate those can reduce pipeline integrity. Additional 195-452H1 as stated, the operator must be able to demonstrate the remediation of the condition, ensure the condition does not pose a threat over the long-term integrity of the pipeline that require the operator industry accept the repair method of the condition remediated. 195-452H1 also contains two subparagraphs related with the pressure reduction notification. 195-452H11 record the operator with the PHMSA that operator cannot make the repair schedule that cannot be provide safety through the temporary pressure reduction. 195-452H12 require the operator to notify the PHMSA reduction exceed the 360 days, explaining the reason for the delay with the take further action, ensure the safety of the pipeline. Generally, the operator with the properly identify the repair specific anomaly with the time frame established for the anomaly with the 195-452H for the paragraph the subparagraph 195-452H4 and should be each other rather than 195-452H1. Section 195-452H1 should be decided that no taking the proper action for the drift of the anomaly's condition found by the integrity assessment information that could be detrimental to the integrity of the pipeline applied with more than just the anomalies immediate 60 days and 100-day repair criteria 195-452H4 with a B taking pressure reduction with the schedule that cannot be taken with not notifying PHMSA but the schedule cannot meet the temporary pressure reduction cannot be taken. D notifying the PHMSA with the pressure reduction exceed 365 days, not taking additional remedial action pressure reduction exceed 365 days. And 5, use the repair method the operating demonstrate that would ensure the operation of the condition unlikely to threaten long-term integrity. So an operator may have the safety-related condition report on the 195-55A55A6 the requirement of the safety-related condition report with the safety-related condition that could have the cover either directly or indirectly remedial action of the operator with the purpose of the abandonment of the 20% of the deduction of the operating pressure for the shutdown the operational pipeline requirement that apply with the anomaly segment of the high consequent area as well as the anomalies outside of the area of the discovered integrity assessment and anomalies in the area of that could affect with the high consequent area still require the pressure reduction paragraph 195-585 select final order references. I don't read those because of the companies. Example, the probable violation act with the pursuit failed to take the proper action to the anomaly station found with the integrity assessment information analysis. 2 failure to demonstrate pressure reduction schedule evaluation remedial action cannot be taken with the 3 the failure to take additional remediation evaluation remediation schedule cannot be taken with the temporary pressure reduction cannot be taken with the 4 the failure to notify the PH evaluation remediation schedules not be taken with the temporary pressure reduction could be taken with the 5 the failure to take additional remedial actions over the pressure reduction exceeding 365 days. 6 the failure to notify the PHMSA pressure reduction exceeding 365 days. Failure to use the appropriate repair method of remediating the condition. Example, the evidence of the documentation show the anomalous condition and identify the operative remediation the repair, map of the repair schedule for the completion of the day of the 2, the documentation show the operating pressure for the head, history of the affected pipeline, 6 of the 3, the documentation show the mission, deficiency information, you the making of the decision in regard to the anomalous of the condition from repair require remediation. 4, documentation, conservation of the operative with the contractor personnel with the 10 of the inconsistent deficiency and accuracy regarding the information with the make of the decision regarding the anomalous of the condition of the remediation and the action of the remedial anomalies. 5, the documentation show the deficiency additional remedial action taken with the operator schedule that could not be the temporary pressure for the remedial reduction could be taken with the 6 of the documentation show the deficiency with the additional with the remedial action taken with the operator with the pressure reduction and see the 3 days. 7, the documentation show the PHMSA notified the schedule could not be taken with the temporary pressure reduction could not be made with the pressure reduction not exceeding 365 days. 8, repair record of the data and show the repair method of the remediated condition would ensure long-term integrity. Alright, the Liquid Integrity Management Program 195, March 18th, 2013, 19452H, Pipeline Integrity Management, High Consequence Air. What are the action of H? What are the action of the operative integrity with the address the integrity issues? Discover the condition. Discover the condition. Discover the operator has adequate information for the condition. Determine the condition present with the potential threat. Integrity of the pipeline. The operator must promptly no later than 100 days for the integrity assessment of the obtain sufficient information for the condition. Make the determination and left for the operator to demonstrate that more than 180 days is practicable. Origin code 19570 with the 65 Federal Register 75378, December 1st, 2000. Last amendment 19574 with 67 the Federal Register 1650, January 14, 2000. Interpretations, summary of the advisory bulletins and notice and summaries. Other reference material and so forth. API 1160, the managing consider the head of liquid pipeline latest edition. PHMSA liquid integrity management supplemental guidelines integrity assessment resolve of the part 195 appendix E, the section 7 the condition within manpower of the pipeline integrity Federal Register volume 67 number 9 Monday January 14, 2002 rules and regulation part page 1653 final order CPF 3 2005 50 30 and PHMSA held liquid frequently asked questions for purpose of the meeting with deadlines completing baseline substance of the day of the assessment considered the day of the tool room complete with the preliminary data receipt of the evaluation of the inline inspection result is incomplete with the operative with the inline inspection staff out of the baseline requirement of the mental law for the smart pick of the D4 mentioned tool below it must be blown run at the same time again these runs be significantly determined time 627 what time frame for the discovery conditions that hasn't potential threat of the integrity of the pipeline you've addressed assessment 7-3 what counts for the discovery of conditions 7-10 with the minimum depth formation for the counts of the death 7-19 for the tolerance consider the determination detected anomaly with repair criteria 8-10 with the integrity management program documentation available the pipeline has the safety administration pipeline safety inspection how long should it be integrity management related with documentation retain guidance information 195-452 F3 state of the operative runs develop the criteria remedial action and interrupt the integrity of the issue 1 with the U of the integrity management program element 195-452 H5 of the more specific requirement of the program element of the 2 and 195-442 F 8 with the requirement of the operative have the process of the review of the integrity system result of the reference of 195-452 H2 195-452 H2 with the requirement of the operative promptly no later than 100 days after the completion of the assessment of the obtainment of the system sufficient information about the condition of the category of the condition discover the discovered define if the operative sufficient information about the condition determine the detrimental integrity of the pipeline sufficient information about the condition can be obtained with the 1 the vendor notice of the operative of the condition of the detrimental integrity of the pipeline 2 the operative receive the preliminary report with the vendor 3 when the operative receive the final report with the vendor 4 operative perform the validation taken to discover the condition of the share curve of the earliest opportunity inadequate and generally the operative of the process if the result review the assessment result of the inadequate deficiency 195-452 F 8 should be set the operative even the process of the review the integrity assessment resolve the problem with the anomaly with the required with the remediation not require identified likely with the such anomalies being not be identified 195-458 should be generally be set by the example of the issue that may be included failure adequately ILI tolerances inadequate deficiency ILL binders inadequate deficiency method of the categories abnormalities ILLI data failure adequate integrity information of the so with the corrosion record the ILL vendors one or more than above the problematic deficiency result of failure to classify the indication code of the specific type of anomaly and identify the condition of the not classified immediate repair condition because of the failure of the conservative tolerance tool the operative should be decided by the specified subparagraph 195-452 H over the appropriate type of the condition 5 operators should require the vendor to provide the prompt immediate notification of the immediate repair condition 6 discovered must go the care within 100 days of the completion of the assessment with the most multiple of the ILI tools run made the example of the geometry of the MFL tool runs consider the time of the speed of the tool will discover the condition and identify the first tool will must be within 100 days of the completion of the tool run lengthy time period between the tool runs consider the result of the violation example of the metal law to identify the result of the geometry MF tool the overlay with the discover the example of the except for the 180 days of the completion of the first inspection the asked question with the PHMSA exemption time interval to success of the ILI tool runs the running the tool with the close proximity of the operative really identify the potential serious anomalies of dense and metal loss. Alright, your final order, CPF 2005, the 5030 AMCO, the April 26, 2000. Although the BHMS Oppressor Agency Research Special Program Administrator stated with the preamble, the removal of the discovery facts of the barrier, depending on the discovery and RSP, are stated with an operative limit, link with the discovery profit, the operative promptly with the information assessment, the ensure the remediation with the condition of the air and with the pipeline after the integrity assessment, since the identification of the dam metal off that can immediately within 60 days of the repair conditions, given the time of the twin the run formation, temperature of the tool, with the consider the exceeding of the upper limited length of the discovery profit of the dam of the metal off the circumstances most taken into consideration, determining for the action to be taken. 9. If the formation tool does not orientation all the dens exceed 6% of them must be categorized. The discover the top side of the dens category of the immediate repair with the condition all dens greater than 3% of the category 68 of the repair condition all dens greater than 2% must be categorized 100-day repair 180-day repair condition 195 452 H2. If the discover the condition that could be the operative with the adequate information of the condition and so the potential threat of the integrity of the pipeline with the can determine the presence of the integrity of the threat of the pipeline immediately 60 days 180 repair condition 195 452 H4 determine the defect immediately and the geometry tool meaning the repair criteria of the tool page. So the data is needed with the depth of the anomaly. Second, with the orientation of the anomaly, for example, the data is identified greater than 6% of the depth of the width. Orientation, they could be immediately repair condition located at the top of the pipe with a 180-day repair condition located at the bottom of the pipe. So the orientation information unavailable to actually categorize the defect of the conservation assumption made with the defect of the top of the pipe, therefore immediately repair condition. If the deformation of the tool does not include the orientation of the top side of the middle lobes of the indication of the same axle position, then with the categorize discover the immediate repair condition regardless of the depth of the metal loft that includes the bottom of the type of the dent and the same of the axle position, but the indicator the most be categorized in 60-day condition. Dents of the metal loft cracking and stress rising with immediate repair application. If located at the top of the pipe, 60-day repairs. If they're located at the bottom of the pipe, they must metal loft typically identify the MFL tool orientation metal loft, but the tool with the geometrical tool provided them both depth of the not orientation mode that conservative assumption must be made with the dense and metal loft the defect of the same location with their immediate repair condition metal loft at the top of the pipe with the 60-day repair condition with the metal loft at the bottom of the pipe. 11. No minimum depth of the dam categorized the metal loft. The dam with the metal loft must be true with immediate repair of 60-day condition. Frequently asked question with the top side of the dam regardless of the dam metal loft the cracking stress right of the beam must be traded. You need immediate repair condition. Likewise, any of the dam at the bottom regardless of the depth must be true with the 60-day repair condition. 12. Told Thomas consider the value in condition frequently asked question 719. If the operative must take the tool tolerance into consideration categorizing defects. So the final orders, and then I'm not reading those. And our example of probable violation and inadequate procedure. They have to declare discovery of the condition, sufficient information available, determination of the condition, data with the integrity of the pipeline. 2. Declare the discovery of the condition 180 days complete with the assessment failure to provide with adequate justification. Discover the 100 days have been practical the 100 days time frame. This is the discover the dense immediately prepare condition no orientation date. This provided the failure to categorize the dense greater than 3% of the 60-day repair condition no orientation data is provided failure to categorize dense greater than 2% of the 180 repair condition no orientation is provided. Failure to categorize discover the dense of the left the immediate repair with the condition no orientation data provided with the corrosion report with the same location pipeline data, but the failure to properly categorize the condition needs repairing criteria with the 195 452 H4 and failure to come with the total tolerance for discovery. Alright, examples of the evidence with integrity management plan program applicable portion show the emission of the deficiency approach for the reviewing integrity of the assessment result of identifying with the anomaly for the remedial need of the remediation documentation show the day with the assessment were complete with the revenue of the report with the receipt of the discovery day with the anomalous condition required showing the outcome of the operative integrity assessment result reviewing the including the identification of anomalies requiring remediation documentation compensation operative with the contractor personnel with identify the inconsistent deficiency adequacy with regarding information you to make a decision regarding categorizing anomalies conditions. And then we're going to stop here at Liquidity and Integrity Management Revision date March 18, 2013, 195 452 H3.